Yes, my people, you're telling me welcome back to another main channel video. Today we're going to be reacting to 3 disturbing fall horror stories, so autumn if you're not from America. Currently, I have no idea what I want to do on YouTube, so I'm literally just banging out reaction videos because that's the only thing I can find myself enjoying at the moment, which is kind of jarring because there's no games to play at the moment. Like, good games. I'm kind of waiting, if you know Poppy Playtime, I'm just kind of waiting for chapter 3 to come out because that's the only thing like I'm excited to play. But if you have any games, etc., that you want me to play, like, let me know, because I need something else other than reaction videos to do, because I'm struggling with content ideas. Like, I'm drained as fuck for ideas. I just don't know what to do. I need something to revive that fire I had a year ago.
My name is Nancy, and I work as a behavioral therapist in a local psychology office. I've been doing this for 5 years, and I've dealt with a lot of different types of people. I've had hundreds of clients now, and I used to think I've seen everything, but I didn't realize how wrong I was until I took in a young man named Peter as a client. Peter was 15 years old. Peter's father, Tom, would always come in with his son for our sessions. Tom believed his son was on the spectrum for autism, or any kind of social disorder, because all of his life he lacked friends and the ability to socialize with other people his age properly.
Hey, that's not autism, alright? That's not autism. That's just being different. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just different.
What I would do at our therapy sessions is try to talk to Peter about things he enjoyed doing, things he wanted to do, and try to get him to open up about his personal life. But at first it was hard because he was very quiet and shy. I would ask Tom to leave the room occasionally to ask Peter some more personal questions about his family life and such, and it seems Peter opened up a bit more when his father wasn't in the room.
Oh, you reckon it's like he's scared to open up in front of his dad because his dad's probably like a sole problem to why he's like a bit nutty.
Always caught the vibe Tom preferred to stay in the room. I learned from Peter that his parents didn't get along at all. They would fight almost every night for as long as he could remember.
Been there, bro.
He had no siblings or cousins, coming from a very small family. So one thing about me, I love the fall season and anything pumpkin. Pumpkin beers, pumpkin pie, pumpkin spice latte. I can't get enough.
I've never had pumpkin
pie before. One
therapy
therapy
session
talking about the freshly fall weather outside. Peter was telling me about how this was his favorite season, and I told him the same, largely because of my love for pumpkin flavored things. But later that night, when I was already in my robe getting ready for bed, there was a loud knocking at my front door. I never get knocks past 9 o'clock.
Whoa. I'm guessing she works at home, because we can't have just jumped from there to home. I'm guessing she works at home. Okay.
So I was nervous when I went to check the window to see who was there. There wasn't
Peter.
anyone. But when I opened the door, I saw a mini pumpkin and a pumpkin flavored coffee creamer on the ground in front of my door.
That's nice.
I knew this was no coincidence. Only a few hours ago, I told Peter about my obsession with pumpkin flavored things.
That's nice.
When my attempted call to Thomas the next day didn't go through, I texted him a picture of the 2 items left by my door.
That's so
and how
sweet.
inappropriate and uncomfortable it is for me to be followed home by a client.
Oh, she doesn't work from home. Okay, it's a bit strange, but it's quite nice, you know. The intentions were correct, honestly. I rate it, if I'm honest. It's a bit creepy, but his intentions were nice.
Tom texted back within 10 minutes saying that his son would never do something like that. He almost acted offended by my accusation. Momentarily, it got me wondering, what if it was just a gift from a neighbor or something? The week went by, and I wondered if I should terminate my relationship with Peter as a client.
I wouldn't do
but
that.
I decided not
to
see how the next session would...
I wouldn't do that if you think he's creeping around your gaff, because then that'll probably make him a bit more of a psycho. I wouldn't recommend it, love.
Go. The following Monday, Peter and Tom came in like usual. Peter seemed to be acting as normal. By now, he seemed very happy to talk to me, but I thought I saw it for what it was now, that he may have thought he was attracted to me, being possibly the only woman to speak to him with respect in his life. During that session, I brought up the little gifts at my front door with a smile, not directly accusing him of leaving them, just hinting at what a coincidence it was, and I noticed Tom getting annoyed in the corner by my bringing it up. Peter acted shocked and agreed it was a huge coincidence. It was a truly bizarre situation, and I didn't know what to do.
I think it's
but
just
if it happened again,
man.
I knew I'd have to terminate our relationship. 2 nights later, a knock at my door again while I was in the living room watching a movie. My heart sank because I already knew what I was expecting. I checked the window again, and no one was there. so I slowly opened the door and sighed out of disgust when I saw more pumpkin-flavored things on my stoop.
I think
This
it's
time,
just
a pumpkin
nice.
pie, pumpkin Cheerios, and pumpkin Oreos. It was a little past 9 o'clock at this point. I
You know
got my
what? I think if you, I know the fact that it's a horror story, it's not going to end well. However, we have to like kind of commentate based on what we've heard so far. So I just think the guy's just being nice to her, and like he has a little bit of a crush. It's quite clear to see that he probably has a little bit of a crush if that's the only girl that spoke to him. But I think it's all light-hearted and he means well, and he just thinks he's doing something nice. And obviously he's young, he's a bit slow, evidently. So I think he's thinking he's doing something nice. I think you just need to tell him, hey, Pierre, stop it. You're being a bit weird, man. I respect the gifts, but fuck off.
my cell phone and took a picture of the items once again and sent it to Tom. I was about to start typing out a text about why I could no longer see them, but I heard the ding of someone's phone receiving a text right to my left, in the bushes in front of my house.
Never fucking mind, it wasn't Peter. It's Tom. That's brazen. What the fuck? Okay, that shin shivers right down my spine. That's the complete left turn. Okay. Whoa, Tom's in a madness.
I started walking slowly over to it, saying Peter's
You're white. She's white, isn't she? She's white. Her name's Nancy, and she's walking towards a bush at night when she knows someone's in there hiding. She's white.
name. I saw someone hiding in the bush as I got close enough, but it wasn't Peter. It was Tom. We looked each other in the eyes, and he said, "Hi Nancy, you look beautiful as always." And I screamed. I ran into my house and locked the door, seconds before he tried opening it and started banging on it. I screamed to leave me alone or I'd call the police. He apologized through the door and yelled he's leaving. I watched through the window as he left to his car and drove away. This explained not only the unwanted gifts at my door, but possibly the sound of my side gate closing in the middle of the night weeks prior to this. I have no idea how long he was stalking me at my house.
Oh, I needed to let that one out. If it was Peter, I would think it was a bit nice. But Tom, you're a grown man. You're a grown man, bro. Like, you've got a son. You are grown. Grow up.
My brother, who's a police officer, advised me not to even bother trying to get a restraining order because there wasn't any evidence that he meant me any harm, and it would just be he said, she said allegations.
Kind of hard.
However, I did
deal with
report
that.
the case to the police, and added that Peter may be in an unsafe, abusive household. I don't know what Tom's end goal was by following me home
I
and
think he's
leaving
like
those
looking
things
at
by
you,
my
laughing.
door.
No, it's a bit strange.
Based on the way he tried to open my door after I locked it, though, says he wasn't trying to be a romantic type. I feel sorry for Peter. His dad brought him in to see me only as some kind of method of getting closer to me.
Ah, he's used his son for sexual gain. I bet he was tossing one off and he was like, oh my god, that dressing gown. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm weird. Yes. Fragger. I say yes.
It was a Friday night in early October a long time ago. I was with my 3 friends, Jose, Brian, and Tanya. We were being bored teenagers wanting something to do in the spirit of the season. It was a nice fall night out, low 60s, nice breeze, so we wanted to be outside. Not much goes on in our boring town, and we weren't old enough to go to bars or anything. We decided to ride our bikes up Miller's Road to this old closed-down pumpkin farm nicknamed Farmer John's Pumpkin Patch. It used to be a literal farm surrounded by crops on one side and forest on the other. The alleged Farmer John, or whoever actually owned it, didn't live there anymore. It was sold, and whoever bought the land just never did anything with it for a long time.
What a waste.
It was a 20-minute bike ride up Miller's Road, which is an extremely quiet road traffic-wise. Just lots of cornfields and farms around this area. When we got there, we rode our bikes off the road onto the grass, all with our flashlights on. We leaned our bikes up against the old abandoned house that the owner used to live in. We walked around the overgrown grass a bit, checking out where the pumpkin patch used to be and where the animals in the little petting zoo area used to be. There's something really cool about exploring abandoned places at night, but also kind of spooky. We went back to the house where we left the bikes. Breaking into it was relatively easy since we weren't the first ones to do so. The door was already knocked off the hinges. All we had to do was kick it open. This is where it got really creepy though. Being in an abandoned house at night.
Wait. Why is it abandoned? Why is it abandoned? Why is it abandoned? Why is it abandoned if it's been bought?
Even as a thrill seeker, it's a bit unnerving, even when you're 4 people. I'd say 5 minutes into being inside the house, we started to hear thumps from upstairs. Like periodic thumps, not just random thumps. Jose and I decided to head upstairs to check it out. Tanya didn't want to go upstairs because she was scared, so Brian stayed downstairs with her.
Fair enough.
When we got to the upstairs, the thumping was much louder for sure.
Obviously, you ain't close to
It came
it,
from
mate.
the left side of the stairs. Our flashlights revealed a bunch of doors up here, all open, leading into what were probably once all bedrooms.
Oh my days.
Our footsteps were loud as we walked closer to the room with the thumping. There was no way to hide it on these rickety, creaky floorboards. As we got to the corner room doorway, the thumping stopped. I whispered to Jose, "Is it an animal?" He went, "Shh." I pointed my flashlight into the room, starting from the left side, working the light to the right. I stopped when my flashlight landed on a male's figure in the corner of the room facing the wall, with what appeared to be blood on the wall in front of him,
Banging his skull
probably
off the
banging
wall.
his head on it, creating those thumping sounds. Jose aimed his light at him too, and we both jumped back. We left in a hurry, and as we ran down the stairs, a horrifying, gut-wrenching scream came from the room we were just in, causing all four of us to scream. As we left the house and got to our bikes, we heard stomping down the stairs from inside the house as the screaming got louder.
Oh my god, I'm freezing.
We all ran to
I'm
our
freezing.
bikes, absolutely freaked the fuck out. We pedaled
freezing.
as fast as we could out of there. The screaming stopped before it ever came out of the house. We didn't look back. We continued pedaling all the way up Miller's Road till we got back to my house. I have no idea what we witnessed in there, and I won't even try to explain it.
Albonymous. Elbow.
When I was a little kid, there was this top of the mountains resort I went to with my family
That is
2 different
beautiful.
times. The resort was shut down a long time ago, but I remember it for the most part to be a very nice, family-friendly place. Both times we went, it was in the fall,
Oh,
because
wow.
my mom wanted to go for the changing colors
That
of the
is
leaves.
sick, oh.
This story takes place the second time we went to the resort. I was, I think, 6 years old. My older brother Corey was around 10, and my little brother was around 4. My parents paid most attention to my little brother, of course, with the expectation that my older brother would be kind of watching out for
After
me.
you, yeah.
On this particular night, they were doing the bonfire marshmallow roast and hayride. We had ridden the hayride already while the sun was going down. After that was the bonfire and mini fireworks show. At the bonfire, I met this man who started talking to me, asking me if I was having fun and if I'd been to the resort before. He said he was one of the owners. Then he gave me a little laser pointer toy,
Nothing
and I
too
instantly trusted him because,
confusing or
I was 6.
worrying about that.
The
So far.
hayride driver announced that he was doing a final ride in the dark, and that he was going to drive down the big hill, which sounded exciting. My older brother suggested we do it. He made some friends at the resort, so I think he disappeared to go look for them to ride the hayride with us. In the meantime, I was still sitting by the bonfire.
With
My
him.
dad was drinking beer with this other dad on
Oh,
the
no,
other side of
that's
the
still
fire,
there, that's good.
and my mom was with my little brother roasting marshmallows. Eventually, I went to go ask my mom where Corey went, and she said he's going on the hayride and to hurry and get on before they left. So I hurried to the mini line of like 5 people waiting to get on, and when I was on, there were about 15 to 20 people on there, but I didn't see my brother.
Uh-oh.
I sat on one of the haystacks anyway, waiting, as the truck started up, indicating it was about to leave.
Where's your brother?
I saw that man from before climb into the truck with a woman behind him, and he came to sit next to me when he saw me. He asked where my family was, and I shrugged my shoulders. Speaking of that, my brother never got on the hayride. The woman sat next to him.
Where's he gone?
She looked at me and smiled, and he said that's his wife. He asked if I still had that laser pointer, and I said yeah and showed it to him. He smiled. The whole time I spoke with the man, his wife next to him was looking at me, smiling. During the hayride, the two were
But
basically talking to
nonsense.
me the whole time. Then, when we were approaching the hill drop where the driver said he was going to floor it, the man next to me saw I was nervous. So when we drove down the hill, he grabbed my arms and lifted them in the air so as to do the no hands thing that people like to do on roller coasters. It actually made me laugh because the drop down was fun.
Okay, that's good. He's
The
being
man
nice.
asked me if I had been to the arcade of the resort yet, and when I shook my head no, he told me he had the key to a lot of the games, and asked if I wanted it. I of course shook my head yes. He said he'd just have to go get it and go there with me, and it would be all mine. We one by one left the back of the truck as we got back to the bonfire. The man and woman both walked alongside me, and the woman held my hand and kept calling me sweetie anytime she said something to me.
To disguise the fact they're gonna kidnap you, my friend. So it's like, that's my mum, mate. They're gonna like, yeah, they're gonna look. Whoa. Oh no.
The man said the arcade wasn't far. As we walked away from the brightness of the huge bonfire and into the darkness of the pathway back towards the cabins and main buildings of the resort, I heard Cody's voice call my name from behind. I turned, and it was Cody looking at us. I yelled back, "We're going to the arcade," and the man and woman looked back but didn't say anything. My brother didn't follow us or say anything else. After we got further from the bonfire, the woman's grip on my hand got tighter, and we started walking faster. Something wasn't right, because her grip was starting to hurt me. I also noticed we weren't going in the direction of the clubhouse. We were heading towards the parking lot. When I asked where we were going, the man said we're getting the key to the arcade games. Next thing I remember, my mom's panicked screaming voice was heard behind us, screaming, "Let go of him." My mom was running over hysterical, and the two strangers stepped away from me, and I remember the woman saying some BS like they were taking me to the front desk area. My mom yelled and cursed at them, and the two of them just quickly walked away into the darkness. I wish my dad was with my mom at that moment to kick the man's ass. The worst part is they got to just drive off and potentially do this to somebody else. My mom asked everybody at the bonfire if they had seen those people. Nobody recognized them. She also reported this to the resort and the police.
As she should.
But really, what could they do once the couple disappeared?
I mean, yeah, description.
The idea that I was almost kidnapped by a creepy older couple when I was only 6 or 7 is stomach churning, even to this day.
It is brazen, like, it is sad, because think of the amount of times this happens and it doesn't get, like, people don't get found, like, they just get nicked and no one knows. Like, that is scary to think about. But anyway, if you enjoyed this main channel video, I know it's not the best, it's pretty much just second channel but scary. It's pretty much all it is. All my main channel is second channel but scary. But yeah, it's a bit rough, I won't lie, it's a bit rough at the moment. I don't really, there's no games really, it's just shit. Yeah, it's a bit of a struggle. I just need some fresh content ideas that I can execute with what I've got. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. Let me know other videos to react to and games to play in the Discord. There is a section where you can post whatever you want for me to do that you want me to do. Yeah, bye.